early this morning, but I got to get out here before the sun come up because I'm in Florida. So with that being said, let's get on down to this morning's lecture, which is self-employment easy? Is self-employment easy? And I'm going to dive deep and really talk about this because, you got many people who, you hear a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people and listen to a lot of people, and many people, you're hearing folks saying that they're tired of the 9 to 5 job and they don't want to work for anybody. Work jobs and organizations are toxic and they're fed up and they're quitting and I'm going to go work for myself or never going to work for another organization or company again or ever, and it's just better to work for yourself. And I'm going to really talk about this because I'm going to say one thing: ain't nothing in this world of true value to include self-employment is easy. Of true value, and I'm going to break this thing down to you. First of all, although I retired September the 6th, 2023, I've always simultaneously had my company, Paris & Associates Resource Center, simultaneously all throughout while I was in the workforce. And the beauty of that, because that my company, that's self-employment, but the beauty of that is because I knew I had a primary source of income. I get a pension for the rest of my life, a couple of pensions. But what I discovered along the way, as I was also simultaneously making income under my company, I phased out a lot of my clinical services under my company because as a licensed clinical addiction expert, I hold multiple credentials. Throughout the years under my company, I made a truckload of money doing court order evaluations, DUI evaluations, training, clinical supervision for other professionals who required CEUs to re-credential their credentials. So I made a lot of money under my company throughout the years. And over the past several years, I phased out all of my clinical services under my company because that was work. That was not easy. I had to deliver. And now under my company, I provide one of my primary services under my company. I provide, I go into an executed contract for individuals who want to hire me over the course of 4 paid coaching sessions to develop their initial strategic business plan. And my cutoff for the clients is 5. And I deliberately keep it at 5 because if I begin to go higher, what I noticed was it cut too much into my downtime. You got to maintain these files. You got to deliver service. Another service I provided under my company, I wrote my book under my company, so I get royalty checks every quarter for the rest of my life for the sales of my book. That was not easy, writing a book. In writing that manuscript that took a year and a half to write my manuscript. Just because you write a book, that don't mean the money going to come dropping in. I got to still continuously market my book, to cultivate and develop and to market my book. The publishing companies still got their hands on my book. That is work, people. It is, and understand, my company been around for 20 plus years, that I have honed in with these skills of cultivating and developing my brand, Paris & Associates Resource Center. I'm well known in multiple states with my brand. And I did all that simultaneously, getting up and going to work. I've been in the military, I worked corporate America, I was retired state government, and outside of that, I was cultivating my brand, people. And that took blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm here to tell you. But the beauty of that journey along the way, because I had a primary source of income, I didn't have to really be stressed out. Oh, I got to make a certain amount of money under my company to pay my bills, to pay my mortgage, to pay my household bills, to take care of my child. Because when you don't have no other source of income and you just working for yourself, then you are truly worried about them dollars and cents. Making sure you providing enough service and products and clients on working for yourself. Because if you don't know how to be strategic and manage your money, working for yourself, you're going to find yourself in financial destruction. You better make sure you're paying your taxes. Because although now I'm retired, with my retirement benefits comes medical, a pension for the rest of my life. So I don't have to worry about going out and purchasing my own medical insurance. I'm getting that through my retirement accounts. So now the money that I generate from my company, and I keep my numbers deliberately low, and more the money I'm generating under my company, all I do is reinvest that money. My royalty checks I get every quarter from my publishing companies, I reinvest that money. The money I generate under Paris and Associates for individuals who want to hire me to develop their strategic business plan, that revenue, I reinvest that money. I'm able to do that because I got a couple of pensions hitting me every month. So, but I paid my dues to position myself to get there. If you're working for yourself, if you're self-employed, you better have a good CPA to do your personal taxes and your business taxes so you won't get in trouble with Uncle Sam. If you're working for yourself, you better keep excellent records. I had the same certified public accountant for 15 plus years. I had the same public accountant prior to the 15 years, 19 years. And by the grace of God, I found a very good public accountant in the state that I relocated to. CPA, make sure they got the credential. And he did my personal and business taxes for the year 2023. You better keep excellent records because you're going to be audited. You're going to be audited by Internal Revenue Service, and you better have your records in place because a lot of people who are self-employed and sloppy, trying to cut corners, ain't keeping excellent records, get in trouble with Uncle Sam, and now they enter in financial destruction. If you're self-employed, you better be investing a proportion of that income into a 401 if you ain't got no primary job simultaneously. Even if you got a primary job. Even if you got a primary job simultaneously while you're self-employed, still be investing some of that money. I invested a truckload of money from my company, and I still do. You better be investing into your individual retirement account, a 401. If you're self-employed and you ain't got no, and if you're self-employed and you ain't got no primary job simultaneously with that, you better be paying your taxes. You better be paying into Social Security. You better be paying those quarterly taxes every quarter, either at the end of the year in reference to that company, because if not, you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. So it's a business to it, people. It's a business side. I've seen a lot of people make a lot of money by being self-employed. And then as they get up in age, I find out that they weren't even investing into a 401. Weren't even investing into a retirement account. Was not paying, you got to pay into Social Security. When you're self-employed, you also got to pay into your Social Security. Because when you got a primary job, they automatically do all that for you. They're taking out your taxes. They're taking out for Social Security. They're taking out for Medicare. They're taking out for your other retirement accounts if you want that to come out. All of that. So you ain't got to think about it. But now, shift your mindset for a minute. So if you just primarily self-employed, you better make sure you're paying into your retirement. You better make sure you're paying them quarterly business taxes. You better make sure you're paying into your Social Security. And then, because if you're primarily self-employed, you better have some really, you're going to have to purchase your own medical insurance, life insurance, dental insurance for yourself and your family. And when you're talking about insurance for your entire family, medical insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, that can be a lot of money because now it's all coming out of your pocket. All that's coming out of and that can be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars When you work for a traditional job, the company or the organization, they're going to pay a big percentage of that medical premium, and then you just pay that employer proportion. So I'm saying this to say, people, is being self-employed easy? And my answer to that ain't nothing in this world of true value is easy. It's going to come quick and fast, because when you really wrap your mind around this, you got to produce. You got to have business savvy if you are self-employed. If not, you are going to create financial destruction. You better know how to budget your money, because you got to have time off and take a vacation. Then, if you don't have a financial maturity to budget that money and you chasing dollar signs, you're going to find yourself working 19, 20 hours a day, 7 days a week to stay abreast and to make sure you make enough money to pay all your bills and your expenses and your medical and your kids' medical. So now you stressed out. And this is real talk, people. So when folks talking about, I ain't working for nobody, I ain't working for no 9 to 5, I ain't hitting nobody time clock, I'm going to go just work for myself. But you better have that, you better do your research. You better have that business model in place. And even though I scaled down with many of the services I'm providing under my company, you better believe I aligned myself with a certified public accountant. You better believe I got that business model in place. I've been doing this since day one, over 20 plus something years ago, when I started my company, Patterson Associates Resource Center. It's a powerful thing knowing that I can pick and choose on how many clients I want to serve. My cutoff is 5. I don't have no more than 5 paying clients at a time, because I really do want to keep my company in hobby mode, because I made a lot of money over the years under my company. And trust me, it took blood, sweat, tears, hard work, sacrifice to get my brand, Patterson Associates Resource Center brand, out there. And I'm here to tell you, at the same time, getting up and going to work, working in state government all the way up until I retired, and I kept my mouth shut. So is being self-employed easy? No. Ain't nothing in this world of true value. It's going to be easy. Not if you want to do it the correct way. Keep yourself out of financial trouble. Keep yourself out of financial destruction, because you ain't managing those books and you ain't aligning yourself with the experts. And this is real talk, people. You know, to each his own. But anyone who's self-employed and very successful, let me tell you something. You better believe they have aligned themselves with a certified public accountant to do their personal taxes, their business taxes. You better believe that they're investing into retirement accounts, 401 accounts. You better believe they're paying into their Social Security. You better believe they have purchased their own insurance, medical insurance, life insurance. You better believe they got management skills, financial management skills to budget their money to make it successful, and they align themselves with the right stakeholders, people. And I'm here to tell you, because if not, I see many folks work 30, 40 years being self-employed. Then when they're too old and they can't do it anymore, and at the end, I found out they had no 401, nothing at all. They were not paying into Social Security over the 35, 40 years. None of that. They did not pay a certified CPA, so now the taxes diked up and they're $250,000 behind in taxes. They have literally destroyed themselves financially. This is real talk. So pass this information along. Some folks might need to hear this. Is it easy being self-employed? But a caveat to that, is it easy for Marie Holiday being self-employed now since I'm retired and I can focus on my company and just the sales of my book? Yes, because I understand my limitations. Yes, because I got 2 world-renowned publishing companies here still on my book, tracking my sales. If my books run out in bookstores, the publishing company restock my books. I have a certified public accountant who do my personal and business taxes, and I got the power and the skills to reinvest my money and reinvest my dividends and keep my company in hobby mode, people. It's easy for me because I have mastered these skills of being self-employed, simultaneously in the workforce all the way up until I retire over 23 plus years. And I'm here to tell you. So that's all I have. Don't forget to tune in September the 29th, I'm going to do another relational lecture, and that topic of that lecture is going to present the winning format that I used to write my manuscript that was accepted by 2 world-renowned publishing companies. If you want to find out what that winning format is, you may have a desire to write your own book. If you want to find out what that winning format is, tune in September the 29th at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I can tell you one thing right now, I didn't hire nobody to write my winning manuscript. I didn't go online to figure out what the format was. No, I sat my behind down for a year and a half with a pencil and a whole lot of paper, and I wrote my manuscript, and the rest is history. So if you want to find out what format I used, tune in. And that's all I have. Simple fidelity, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.